Oh my gosh, I'm sweating so much. It's a summer afternoon in Texas, and as a Canadian, I am absolutely melting. But anyways, welcome to the 6th episode of Photovlogs, where we will be spending about 4 days in Colorado, and I'm so excited for this one because Colorado is a state that I've always wanted to visit, and I'll be going with 2 of my favorite people, my partner Ariana and one of my best friends, Jetta. So I brought 2 cameras with me. I brought the Fujifilm X-Pro 2 and I also brought the Ricoh GR3. I honestly expected to shoot more with the Fujifilm X-Pro 2, but being how convenient the Ricoh GR3 was in terms of its size and form factor, I just had it on me everywhere, and it was the camera that I used most. Once we landed and picked up our rental car, we had some time to kill before checking into our Airbnb. And so our first stop was the Arc thrift store, which is pretty popular here. And wow, they had everything. After that, we grabbed our obligatory bubble tea, and I ordered the most delicious Thai milk tea.
That's so good.
Yay!
That is so good.
Really? Oh,
What do you think? Isn't it so good? Like, I actually wish I got that instead. That's so good. It doesn't taste like mango. It doesn't taste like mango? It looks just like mango.
Yeah, it looks like mango.
Oh my god. It's like is it made of mango?
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe I'm just eating a mango. wait, I want to try it.
If you're ever in Denver, I would highly recommend checking out Mango Dessert because they had the most delicious bubble tea and treats, and also the people there were so sweet and so friendly. We made a pit stop at Walgreens for snacks and groceries, fooled around a bit, and headed over to the Mutiny Information Cafe. We heard they had an analog photo booth, and so we had to go. The way that works is that it's a photo booth and they take your photo, and once that photo is taken, it's exposed onto a film strip, and then they will develop that photo using chemistry inside of the photo booth. And so basically you're left with a print, and it's really interesting because it takes about 5 minutes to develop, and once you get that film strip back, you can still see some of the chemistry is still being dried. And so I just thought it was a really interesting experience compared to most digital photo booths out there. The whole cafe was really funky and unique, filled with used books, pop culture items, and eclectic decor. Like, check out this Elvis washroom. On the way to the cafe, we passed by this used bookstore, and we knew we had to visit afterwards, and I'm so glad that we did. They had some rare gems that you'd never find anywhere else. I picked up this photography book from 1975 that kind of walks you through the history of photography, darkroom techniques, and features stunning images printed using photogravure, a process where a photo is transferred onto a copper plate with light and chemicals, creating a 3-dimensional image that's printed with ink. The owners there was an old married couple, and they were the sweetest. The man came over once he realized I was really interested into photography, and he showed me a print of his, and he shot on a Leica, and it was like a long night exposure, and I was just like really pleasantly surprised. But it was really sweet. It was a really nice experience. Highly would recommend going there. It's called Colorado's Used Bookstore on Broadway Street. And if you like books, check it out. I would hate to see the place go. By then, it was time to check in our Airbnb. We picked up some noodles for dinner and checked in. And guys, this was the cutest Airbnb ever. It was styled like a retro 70s home with that mid-century modern vibe that I absolutely love. Just look at this. That night, we relaxed and indulged in the very necessary twilight new moon. The next morning, we went to Rosenberg's Bagels and Delicatessen. The staff was super friendly. They had so many options. I got the Frenchie, a breakfast-style bagel that had sausage, eggs, maple syrup, and cheddar, and 10 out of 10, guys.
We're waiting for Jenna to finish the bathroom. So we finished our food. It was very delish. Now we're gonna go to the Botanical Gardens. And then maybe a museum.
Our next stop was the Denver Botanic Gardens. We didn't expect much, but we were absolutely blown away. It was actually pretty big, and they had various areas. It was beautiful. We had a little fit check, strolled around, smelled the flowers. We loved it. Later, we stopped at Wax Track Records. They had a huge collection of vinyls. I wish I had brought some home, but I just had no space in my luggage and it would have been difficult to transport. But it was a really cool space though, and they even host live performances there. Of course, we found another used bookstore and it was really cute and cozy. I didn't end up getting anything, but I really enjoyed photographing it. Watching Ori and Jetta get totally immersed in the books was so sweet. They're both such huge readers. After that, we wandered around the area, checked out a bunch of shops, and eventually ended up at the Brass Armadillo Antique Mall, our last stop of the day. And wow, the store was massive. They had everything from furnitures to posters to clothes. And they had so many weird, cute, interesting things. And going down each aisle was definitely a visual treat. We're going to Rocky National Park.
I'm so excited. We went to Burger King to get breakfast. We got some hash browns and an egg and cheese croissant, which
I have an enormous burrito.
I have the croissant, but I have a sausage in it.
But it's an hour drive, so we're gonna eat, and then we're low-key already kind of late, but I mean the park closes late, so it's fine. But 10, it's like an hour drive, so we're gonna eat and then drive and then hike for like 2 hours, but we have to stop by this like mountain shop
just to get some spice because there's gonna be some snow and people say it's slippery and they said like spikes are a must. So we're gonna get those.
I hope I don't die.
But the view should be beautiful. I'm so excited. The drive there was so beautiful. Coming from Southern Ontario, I'm always blown away by mountains and elevation. I'm truly jealous of people who get to live by the mountains. I hope I'll get to have that someday. So the mountain shop was in Estes Park, so we stopped there briefly, took our tourist photo, and we were on our way. Unfortunately, when we got to the Rocky Mountain National Park, we drove up to this trailhead that we wanted to go on, and it was just completely full. The parking lot was full, and it had a line of 60 cars waiting, and we wasted a lot of time waiting in line, and so we just couldn't find parking afterwards, and we just ended up having to find a parking spot somewhere, and we ended up hiking around that area. So it wasn't a trail that we wanted to hike on, but we still make the most of it. Hiking this short trail left me winded. Hiking at higher altitude definitely makes it harder for your body, but it got a little bit better the more that I warmed up. We saw a lot of trees, the peak of the Rocky Mountains, some creeks, and the best part, snow. Now, coming from Canada, I see snow all the time, but it was so funny to see my Texan travelers poke at snow, and I thought it was really cute and funny. And of course, we had this brilliant idea.
JC's washing their hands.
We want to make a snowman!
Wait, what about leave no trace?
Don't worry, we destroyed it afterwards to not leave traces. On the way out, we spotted the cutest deer, and of course I had to stop and snap a photo. Then we made the 2.5-hour drive back to return the rental gear and head home. It was a long drive, but unbelievably scenic. Later, we grabbed bubble tea and ended the night watching Tinkerbell. Of course, the perfect way to end the day. For our last day in Colorado, we visited the Garden of the Gods. The drive was beautiful, and once we saw those rocks, we were in awe. The massive red rock formations just looked so magical. The photos and videos don't do it justice. I feel like we keep taking like 15 pictures of the same view, like we walk like 2 meters. And then we're taking another
New angle. Wait, wasn't that like the TikTok that you showed me?
Yeah. Wow, it's just so gorgeous. It's called Garden of the Gods thanks to a surveyor named Rufus Cable, who in 1859 said the place was fit for the gods to assemble. Another guy, M.S. Beach, thought it would be a great place for a beer garden. Both names stuck, and that's how we got Garden of the Gods. But before that, the Europeans called it Red Rock Coral. You walk through the park in complete awe. It's one of those places where you take the same photo at every angle because it just felt so magical and beautiful. We went to the visitor center for a little bit and then we ended up going on a trail. And these ended up being some of my favorite photos of the trip. I think it was a combination of the sunlight, the blue sky, and these massive formations that looked so beautiful, and also being with my favorite people. It was definitely my highlight of the trip. I love my partner and friends so much. I know I'll cherish these memories for a long time. Good burger?
I haven't wanted a Beyond Burger in forever, and I was just craving one, and this hit so hard.
Really? Oh, I'm so glad.
Oh, that's so good.
I'm gonna try these fries.
Good angle. Good angle. You like?
After our hike, we had lunch at the park and we visited the museum. It was actually really interactive and fun, definitely worth checking out. And that's it for this trip. I genuinely had the best 4 days on this trip with my loved ones. This trip would not have been the same without my friends. And yeah, I just feel so lucky to be able to have shared this experience with them and to have these photos to look back on. Yeah, but that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.